and sing together. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that sees who you are. We are of one mind, we are of one heart. Welcome to a place that knows the truth that God is everything. God is He, God is you. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that sees who you are. We are of one mind, we are of one heart. Welcome to a place that knows the truth that God is everything. God is me, God is you. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that knows you as God.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of Columbia on this beautiful day the Lord has made. And I know it's raining, but everything's turning green. So please turn to the person next to you and say, did you know this is the day the Lord has made? Now say to them, did you know that each day is a gift? So today we show up in spiritual courage. We surrender attachment to outcomes and rest in deep faith, knowing that the universe is unfolding just as it should. Do we all know that? Yes. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, said, faith is the assurance of things hoped for. So what do we hope for? We step forward in faith, we say thank you to Spirit for helping me understand all of this, and we ask for divine guidance, and we pay attention to what is revealed to us. Please stand and greet each other today in spiritual courage.
I start my day with love, and I start my day with love. That's what I get more of is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my start my day with peace. I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. When I start my day with peace, I start my day with joy, and I find that sweet release.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rick Cantrell, and it's my honor and pleasure to be your facilitator this morning. We are grateful for all who contribute to our service today. Welcome everybody to Unity of Columbia. Thank you to those of you joining us online, and to those of you here in the sanctuary. Once again, thank you. We ask that you make sure that your cell phones are off at this time, please. We especially want to welcome anyone if this is your first time here. If it is, the ushers have welcome packets, and there's also welcome packets out in the foyer just beyond the doors here. Today's reading is from the Indian mystic and poet Kabir. Be still and know yourself as the truth you have been seeking. Rest in that awareness, for beyond all doing, you already are. Now please join me in affirming our vision, mission, and our core values. Our vision is, we celebrate a spiritually awakened world. And our mission is, we inspire the awakening and practice of divine love in every heart. In addition, we celebrate our core values, knowing that we have come here to be Spirit-centered and to express the values of love, peace, and connection. We have a few announcements this morning. Today is the last day for the March book sale in the Solar Gallery. Buy, buy, buy. They'll be happy to sell you something. You can grab a box of books for $5 today, so there you go. Also, as a notice, in the Friendship Hall, just use the far door out there because it's kind of wet going around this way, so if you go around towards the front entrance. And also the bathroom, use the one in the Solar Gallery there, please, for us today. Unity classes begin next Tuesday and Wednesday, and you do not need to have done part 1 to attend this series. Information is in the foyer. Please sign up there in the foyer. And the books for the classes are available to purchase for $20, and the reading list is also in the foyer there. Clean Up Columbia is coming Saturday, April 12th, and you can sign up for that in the foyer. Also, an important reminder that next Sunday, there's an important congregational meeting with the Board of Trustees. This will be at 11:30 and 12:30 right here. Please come along and be part of the conversation. Thank you. Today's daily word is forgiveness. The affirmation is, my soft heart expresses love as I forgive. Holding on to hurt caused by someone's words or actions is harmful to mental, physical, and emotional health. If I stew over these negative feelings, it's likely I will feel worse. It's when I am willing to let go of these troubling emotions that the healing begins. Forgiveness is healing, Realizing the slight may have been unintentional, or the one who hurt me may have been unaware of my pain, I feel compassion. I let go by repeating the words, "I forgive you," silently to myself, which helps me speak these words aloud when I am able. If I've caused unintentional harm, I ask for forgiveness. Through divine love, I forgive and I am forgiven. As I express this love, I mend the feelings and open the way to peace and harmony. And from the New Testament Gospel of Luke, do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Let's say the affirmation together aloud. My soft heart expresses love as I forgive. Now the prayer box. The prayer box is a symbol of blessing today. In prayer, we expand our awareness, knowing that we are expressions of God. We open our minds to receive an abundance of all that is necessary to fulfill our soul's purpose. Now we hold others in prayer. Please speak your loved one's name aloud so that we can collectively hold space. For all the names on our hearts, know that what you have asked for has been answered. Also, there are Unity chaplains that will be available for you after today's service if you need prayer. Thank you.
You had to be strong for so long. Won't you remember who you are? But I am see you, I see myself too. I know the child hidden in your arms. You're only human like me. You're lonely sometimes like me. You're longing for love like me. You're just like me. I know the ones who forthought you are those you trusted most of all. But to forgive them is to live again and hail the child of the child so smile. You're only human like me. You're lonely sometimes like me. You're lonely for love like me. You're just like me. We cry for a place, a quiet space to be, where a soul shows its true face, where love flies free.
So now we come to the time in our service where we take a moment to connect with Spirit in meditation for a few moments this morning. So relax in your chair or at home. Prepare yourself by putting away all distractions and giving yourself these few moments to just stop and connect with Spirit. So take some deep breaths as you sink further and further into that space of unconditional love for yourself and for everyone in this world and on this planet. As we take a deep breath, I'm reminded this morning of the song that many of us know. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can keep loving me. That reminds me of that circle that was spoken about, that circle of forgiveness, where we release loving ourselves for all the misfortunes or the misgivings or the things that we think we're falling short in. And then I can love you for those same shortcomings and failings that you show. Then you can love yourself so much that you can keep loving me, and we are in that infinite circle of love and forgiveness. So on this Sunday morning, with this rain falling softly, let's deeply go inside, and if any thought comes up, any person or shortcoming that you feel you have, say to yourself, I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can keep loving me. And so we sink for a moment in the silence. So as we come back to this present time and place, we go out this week knowing that I love myself so much, that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can keep loving me, and so it is.
Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
I'm really good for someone driving around in a 1939 Ford coupe vehicle. And, you know, hard to start sometimes, sputters a little bit, but it gets me from where I need to end to where I need to go. How about you?
I am well. I am well. What have you been up to these days?
Well, still pondering the meaning of consciousness and God and what our purpose is and why religion and churches have plummeted in importance and value during this incarnation. You know, simple things.
Yeah, doesn't sound like much, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. So tell us more about that, will you?
Well, it's just a whole lot like eating an elephant. You have to take it a bite at a time. And I just read chapter 10 in Heart-Centered Metaphysics, the book that is the foundation of Reverend Ann's upcoming metaphysics class. And Dr. Hazelbeck had me and had my interest from the first paragraph when he said the term God is greatly misused and misunderstood. And even 16 years ago, when the book was written, it had no longer accurately described what the word and concept was originally meant to identify. As reported in the Bible, John chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning is the Word. All words are structured identifiers of whole concepts and evolve as new information is discovered. Over the centuries, the word God has slipped to a place which needs a new, expanded definition and more involved concept on two levels. First, God has become a word of separation from the thousands of other religions' identifier names for the exact same energy and power, which would be okay, except their divine name becomes the cause, the answer, and the all. And the believers in these various gods are willing to kill or die to maintain the purity of their God, even though their doctrines are all saying that their God says to love one another, to care for one another, to have compassion and benevolence towards one another. But who are also thinking this mystical being demands to be the only identifier fit for humankind, to have no other gods before me, which has caused and is still causing over 6,000 years of terror and bloodshed. As to the words of religion and churches losing all or almost all relevance as accurate identifiers to modern thinkers and attendees, I like to refer to Neil deGrasse Tyson, the famous astrophysicist, who recently reported an interesting survey on the why and how religious belief and church attendance has lost its impact on humankind and is rapidly being ignored by a large segment of people. Here's what the survey reported. When Americans were asked, is there an all-powerful God listening to your prayers? 90% of the participants in the survey said yes. The same question was then asked of persons with a college degree, and this percentage dropped to 60% saying yes. The next group were those with advanced degrees, and as you may have guessed, 40% said yes. Then the researchers asked elite scientists, those identified members being listed in the National Academy of Sciences Society. And the acceptance of a God listening and answering to their prayers plummeted to 7%. 93% of them had no belief in this topic. The researcher asked academic philosophers and philosophers of religion, PhDs, their positive response was less than 1%. they seem to be more concerned with how many angels can dance on a head of a pin. Their conclusion was that the more knowledge in all fields of life one obtained, the more mystical myths lost their appeal. But a final extra question was asked of all the participants. If they thought or believed that there was created in and with consciousness, and that there was a spiritual component to that consciousness. And 98.6%, no matter what their educational level was, said yes, they did. They believed in consciousness and spirituality. But most traditional religions and churches stop or are trapped in their dogma and don't teach this. That's why Charles Fillmore, Ernest Holmes, Joel Goldsmith, and actually many more way-showers have come to the conclusion, to one degree or the other, that there are better identifier words to use than the traditional ones, such as Dr. Hasselbeck uses in his excellent book: spirit, oneness, beingness, divine mind, principle, law, and I am, along with the others. I like best, which is infinite cosmic consciousness, subconsciousness, self-responsibility consciousness, etc. Now, I think I've gone on long enough on this path, and now I'm very interested, Kristen, in what you think of chapter 10.
All right, thanks, Bill. I also always enjoy reading Hasselbeck, but one of my favorite ways to think about God actually comes from one of our co-founders, Myrtle Fillmore, who I absolutely love, and her view of God actually evolved throughout her life. So she, for the most part, thought about God as the divine within ourselves. So rather than this external deity, this God in the sky that many of us grew up with in traditional Christianity, she acknowledges that God is what she calls in her book, Healing Letters, an indwelling presence. So she stressed that it is within each person. Now, when she says within, it's not like, I don't want you to think that it's something that's just contained within you, like in a container. It's not quite like that. It's a little bit different. What she means is that it is your source. It is the source of inner wisdom, strength, and healing. So this concept, it really solidifies the idea that humanity cannot be separated from divinity. There's no separation between the two. So it's an integral part of it. And I think this is a beautiful view. We see that God is not in us, but God is us. You know this. As a community here at Unity of Columbia, we changed the children's blessing. Do you remember this? This was many years ago. We used to say, we behold the Christ in you. We changed that. What do we say now? We behold the Christ you are, because we want to recognize the whole component. It's not just something that's inside of you, it is you. So she further goes on and clarifies this idea when she defines God as principle. And I just love that, because this was in the book, How to Let God Help You, because she's saying that God is a universal principle. It's the universal principle of love, of life, of all things, of all beingness. And the thing about it is this principle, it's available to anybody. It's not just selected to a select few, the power elite or whatever. Anybody can access this. And the thing about it is, it's going on whether you know it or not, so you might as well know about it so you can use it in your life to make your life better and to help you, right? It's so important. So it's just like we can compare it to the law of gravity, the law of motion. These are scientific laws, but what we're talking about here is spiritual law, okay? So finally, she viewed God as a source of wholeness. Myrtle Fillmore's focus on healing led her to see God as a source of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. She believed that by connecting with her inner divine presence, that individuals can experience healing and transformations. And many of us know Myrtle's personal healing story. Essentially, this was at the early 1900s. She went to see E.B. Weeks, a lecturer. It was a New Thought practitioner. And he taught her that you are a child of God and you do not inherit sickness. And she went home and she prayed about that and she meditated on that and she cured herself of tuberculosis. Now, using that same philosophy, Charles Fillmore, our other founder, actually also used that, and he had some issues with his leg. Apparently one of his legs was longer than the other, and it suggests in the literature that his leg actually grew an extra 2 inches once he started changing the thoughts within his mind. So Myrtle Fillmore had this amazing healing, and we are literally all about our divine DNA. It's all divine. There's no space where your DNA is not divine. So Bill, do you think that we have divine DNA? What do you think about that?
Okay. We're doubling up on you. I find these identifier word concepts that Hasselbeck talks about interesting and meaningful, but they are very different from the ones that I grew up with in the Lutheran, Presbyterian, Unitarian church teachings of good and bad dogma. Although, along with the years of study and philosophy of religion, left me feeling, unsatisfied spiritually.
Well, why do you think that is?
Well, what if one day we woke up and realized that the world was vastly different than what we thought? What if we found ourselves in the middle of a scientific and spiritual revolution that challenged the very foundations of everything we know about the world around us? What if our sense of certainty about the endless separateness we are experiencing in the universe, which we have been taught since birth, could be shattered by our direct experience of oneness with all things? What if that scientific revolution was really a revolution in human consciousness? What if we realize as an axiomatic truth that we live in the sanctuary of the cosmic church, which is, in fact, an energetic matrix of everything that is or ever will be, and that we realize that we, as individually manifested self-responsible consciousnesses, evolved and are endowed with all the powers and purpose to create a heaven on earth, which Jesus accurately called the kingdom within. All traditional religions stopped thinking, growing, and evolving their concept truth hundreds and thousands of years ago, and built impenetrable walls of dogma to protect their meaning of how we got here and what our purpose for being here is. This revolution of combining our material existence with our spiritual awareness has caused us to look at the truth that everything is created from quantum energy frequencies, and that everything ever created has an internal energy frequency address, an identifier word, which is available for us to combine with other concepts to create new concepts and things. Every concept identifier word is either one of an open concept or a closed concept, and has either a positive or a negative energy value for us. We would realize that the words God, church, truth, religion are mostly closed concept words, whereas spirituality, consciousness, beingness, oneness are open concepts with positive value. A couple of examples. Jewish religion, closed concept. Jesus' teachings, open concept. The 12 disciples, Catholic Church, 4,000 additional traditional religions are closed concepts, some with having positive value, some with negative value. Unity, science of mind, Joel Goldsmith, creative consciousness are open concepts with outstanding value for humankind. I believe we are truly blessed here at Unity. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore created a spiritual community and never wanted to be considered a religion or church. Rather, a community of persons who wanted to know and grow spiritually. They were forced to label their efforts a church because the government would not give them the tax breaks that this type of group deserves. Now, in 1980, a group of Columbia seekers formed a study group dedicated to expanding their spiritual awareness and growth. They did not even meet on Sundays because they did not want to compete or replace a person's religious affiliations with their traditional church. They decided to become chartered by Unity in 1984 because their missions were compatible. Lemur and Carol, Beth Brown on the computer, Randy and Betty Fletcher, Nancy Curtin are still with us and are still an integral part of maintaining our positive, open concept of spiritual growth. And is it being carried on by Reverend Ann, who is having classes like we see starting next week. Now, Kristen, share with us just a little bit of how Unity does this, giving us the power of choice.
So it all goes back to the Fillmores. We really do have to pay homage to them because even though they didn't really initially want Unity to be a religion, that's what we've made it into. And what we're calling it is a living religion. So what we mean by that when we say that is that it's living because it was founded on learning principles and practices that you could use while living your life in order to be practical spirituality, right? We're just not here talking about these philosophical ideas and then leaving. We're actually taking these ideas, embracing them, and living our life like that. And I think that's what we would call spiritual integrity. In one meditation that I found from Myrtle Fillmore, this is from 1913, she talks about prayer, and she lets the audience know that when you're praying, you're speaking to, quote, an audience of millions, which are the millions of cells in your body. That's who you're praying to. And when you're doing that, you, quote, you're setting them aglow. So that's how she views prayer, as something for yourself, to lift you up to what Bill says is a higher level of consciousness. So she ends her meditation with the powerful reminder, I think, to accept the word, but not just accept it. She says, go forth with it. You don't just leave it at the doors of the church or at the sanctuary. Take it with you and live your principles. Throughout her decades of writing, she repeatedly says that the whole purpose of our existence is to express God. That's why we're here. So in 1890, in her first lesson in Christian Science, she says, we are creation. We exist to show forth our Creator. Exist means to show forth. God cannot exist without us. We are the ones that are here to express God and to show God in our lives. So this goes with our fifth unity principle. You know this. We've got to live the truth we know. Thoughts and prayers only go so far, right? We must align our actions so that we also, like Myrtle, we live in spiritual integrity. And this is how we unlock our divine potential. The best part about this, it's available to absolutely anyone. Anyone. The only roadblock is your own consciousness. And once you can get around that, you are golden. You must choose to see through a divine lens. And I have to tell you what, I'm a little tired today because I was up late last night. I volunteer at a puppy nursery, and we just got new puppies in, and they were 2 weeks old. And as I was cleaning up their stuff, the least favorite part of the job, I picked one up and I looked at it, and he had just opened his eyes for the first time. And I kid you not, I saw God in that puppy. It was just the most precious thing. So I tell you what, it's easy to see God in little puppies. It's harder to see it in the guy that cuts you off in traffic. But start small, right? Start with the puppies and let it grow, right? That's something that I am continually working on. So I encourage you to choose to look through this divine lens. So Bill, how would we accomplish this? Will you finish off by letting us know?
Well, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, Ernest Holmes, and Joel Goldsmith were great prayer makers. And even a local boy that you all have heard about, he's over 100 years old now, Mel West, who started the Worldwide Mobility, used to be known as PET. Not only does he pray aright, and all of them pray aright, but walks his prayers into reality. These are great examples for us. And all way showers are examples for us. That's what they are. And prayer is a tool of self-transformation, moving away from the traditional request, dealings, or begging. A revolutionary prayer should focus on asking for personal growth, guidance, and transformation, instead of focusing on external material circumstances. It could focus inwardly on qualities like patience, humility, or love, with the goal of becoming a better person in a way that leads to, especially now, social change. Blurring the lines between traditional religious boundaries and revolutionary prayer could take the practice of meditation, a method Jesus used very successfully to commune with the kingdom within. People from diverse religious backgrounds could and should come together, sharing common threads of spirituality, love, and compassion, and engage in prayer and meditation that transcends individual belief systems. Ultimately, the most revolutionary way to pray might be one that transcends boundaries, reimagines the purpose of prayer and meditation, and incorporates aspects of unity, mindfulness, and active compassion. Kristen, what a joy it is always to share thoughts and ideals with you. We don't always see the same path, but we always find it's going to the same place. And that's what's exciting about sharing this with you today. And we want to thank all of you here in the sanctuary, all of you at home, huddled in your beds, and for listening, opening your concept of God, religion, prayer, and let truth come in. And so it is.
Please stand. I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I am a powerful, creative, spiritual being. I can create anything I want in this life. I can create anything I want in this life. The universe is on my side, and I am love. The universe is on my side, and I am love. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. You are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. We can create anything you want in this life. You can create anything you want in this life. The universe is on your side, and you are love. The universe is on your side, and you are love. We are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. We are a powerful, creative, spiritual being. We can create anything we want in this life. We can create anything we want in this life. The universe is on our side, and we are love. The universe is on our side, and we are love. We are love. We are love. We are love.
We now place a blessing on our gifts and put ourselves into the law of circulation. If you are joining us online and you've been blessed by today's message, I invite you to go to the giving page on our website. That's unityofcolumbia.org. Your gift will help keep these services online. As we support our spiritual community, please take your offering, whether you give electronically or by cash. Hold it in your hands and your heart as we affirm these words. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Peace in our hearts. And when we come to that line, you can sing. And we know we have peace in our hearts.
We're gonna walk together, arm in arm, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna walk together, arm in arm, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna walk together, arm in arm, so our sisters and brothers won't come to any harm. And we know we got peace in our hearts. That's your part. We're gonna walk with every color and tribe, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna walk with every color and tribe, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna
gonna walk with every color and tribe, 'cause we're stronger together when we're on the same side. We know we got peace in our hearts. We're gonna stand for the earth and our children too, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna stand for the earth and our children too, with peace in our hearts. We're gonna stand for the earth and our children too, 'cause we need everyone to make the dream come true. We know we've got peace in our hearts. Gonna stare in the face, stare, whoa, not yet. We're gonna stare in the face of the hateful mind with peace in our hearts. We're gonna stare into the face of the hateful mind with peace in our hearts. We're gonna stare into the face of the hateful mind, 'cause all we gotta do is let our love light shine. All we gotta do is let our love light shine. Come on. All we gotta do is let our love light shine. All we gotta do is let our love light shine with peace in our hearts. And then we'll repeat the first verse. You might know it by now. We're gonna walk together arm in arm with peace in our hearts. We're gonna walk together arm in arm with peace in our hearts. Gonna walk together arm in arm. Sisters and brothers won't come to any harm, and we know we've got peace in our hearts. Yeah, 'cause we know we've got peace in our hearts. One more time now, 'cause we know we've got peace in our hearts.
So we give thanks for these gifts given so generously this morning. And things come and go in life, but one thing that always stays is the divine idea of abundance. And so we center ourselves in that divine idea of abundance this morning, and we say thank you for these gifts given freely and with love to do the work of Spirit through Unity of Columbia. And so it is. Let's say amen together. Amen. And now we're going to welcome in the children.
I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning, everyone. So we've been busy in our room today. We've been learning a little bit about the Last Supper and some of the symbols that were used then. What did we make? Who can tell me?
We made loaves of bread out of clay with little messages inside.
Okay, yeah, we did. And what are the messages inside? What are they supposed to represent? What does our bread represent? Okay, maybe, do you guys want to tell us what messages you put inside of your bread? Inside of your loaves? Do you want to share with us what is on your little note? No. No? Okay. It's fair. It's fair.
Mine's a surprise.
Hey, Ronnie, what did you put on yours? What did you put inside your
I put some babies.
She drew some little babies. It was really sweet because we're thinking about all the things that God gives us, how He provides all the things that we need. Provides life, which I think is where the babies come from, and we have some other really wonderful things that people are putting on their loaves. But I understand those might be sensitive. Once our clay dries, we're going to be able to share them with our family because we're going to open our bread and share our notes. So hopefully they'll share them with you guys once they're dry. Okay, we'll bless our children. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are.
So please rise and sing with us the prayer of protection.
God is here, the love of God surrounds us. God is here, the love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us whenever we are. God is.
As you move into your week, I invite you to show up in the world as you were wonderfully and beautifully made, in joy and in pure love. Wherever you are, God is.